That's better. Hello, and welcome back to another episode. I've been a little bit obsessed with this build lately. Really happy with how the front turned out. And the back. I've been working on the back for just a little bit. I just I got the walls up. I've done a little bit of detailing that I kind of am sure about. I copied the pergola type structure for the roof over here, give it an open air type feel. These are going to be carved out quite a bit, probably for windows and such. And I've just kind of got the walls in place and the structure of the build here, the back side of the build here, and the front's not done yet either. But I figured this would be a good point to bring you guys in and kind of include you in the process, or try to include you in the process, and try to share my thoughts of like why I'm doing what, and show you the every step along the way and how I get from A to B to or really from A to T or whatever, some later letter in the alphabet. It's not like 1. It's many steps. It's an evolution along the way. I think the first thing we're going to work on here is getting the underneath side of this room here built. And I was thinking the bottom side of this would look really good done in copper. Okay, now that that's taken care of, I wanted to show you this ceiling out here. I changed it from warped wood planks to this copper at the very end of last episode, so I don't know if very many people caught it, or anybody. But I think it looks really good. And this is originally kind of what I was thinking about doing. I wanted to use copper, but it wasn't aged yet, so I just put the warped wood in there for a placeholder kind of thing. But I think it looks really nice because you can it's a little more subtle. Than the warped wood. The warped wood is a more bold, saturated color. This is a more of a... It gives a softer palette, I think, to the build. And it allows you to really almost blend it into this terracotta, which I love. But I'm saying all this because the ceiling right here is going to match, and it's going to be great for all those same reasons. Because it's going to give it more interest. It's going to give it a little more color variety, and it's going to allow us to almost seamlessly blend it in to this terracotta wall, and it's going to look great. So enough talking. Let's get to it. Right now, this is going to look a little garbagey, but that's okay. I always start by shaping out my builds first, and I wanted most of the roof to be this kind of weathered copper, and I wanted it to be in this top slab position, so that it exposed a little bit of the mushroom block all the way around. But now that I've got something in place, I'm going to go back through with stairs and full blocks and different stages of copper, and give this roof a little bit of character, a little bit of life. And I think it's going to end up looking pretty nice down here. I'm not so sure how I feel about this right now. It's not my most favorite, but I have not yet gone through with the old X and honey and worked out the gradient, which could dramatically change my opinion about this. I think I just need some time to think about it. So we're going to work on these windows on either side, little stone walls. I left them wide open like that, where that zombie just jumped out. I left them wide open like that so that we could allow for easy access with elytras in the future when I get some elytras. But there's a huge issue. It's not going to work out. The excessive spawning of mobs, however, is not the issue. That's simply just because I've neglected and continued to neglect to throw some torches up on that dark platform. But, we're just spicing things up, keeping things interesting. Nothing bad has happened yet. The issue is that with that window wide open, you can see straight through the build. Look at this here. Yeah, we got to take care of that. I mean, that's not cool. So, I don't know. This has to be a full wall, solid wall, but I still want a window in it somehow. An even bigger issue than that, though, is that this is where our villagers are supposed to hang out in here. This is where the farmers are. The field is inside this wall, but look at how susceptible to zombies it is right now. I mean, they could just walk in from any direction. Okay, I realize this isn't any safer. I also realize this looks way worse than it did before. But just trust me, I'm gonna see if I can make something crazy work. But how good is this looking? Well, it's not done yet. There's still a lot of things I gotta do with this besides work out the gradient. So, but I think it's looking good right now as is. So that's hopeful. That's encouraging. But there's one other thing also that I wanted to show you. Check out these windows. I went with a little half slab gap. And just wrapped the texture around. Started working on bringing walls in. I don't know if I like having the walls in the window like that because I don't know. But I think it looks pretty good on the inside, and yeah, I'm just happy with it all together. But I'm gonna do a little bit more stone texturing, like up in here and around in here and like all on the other side. Maybe work on this stone fence that I've built. I don't know. I didn't work on it, but I did work on this stone texturing a little bit, and I think it turned out really, really nice. Just blended it in a little bit more over here, a little bit more down here. Put in a wider variety of blocks, like the cracked and the polished andesite and such. And I started to work on the other side when I got a little sidetracked. But hey, I did a little work on this entrance. I think it looks pretty nice. Through just the start of a ceiling in place, I think that's looking pretty nice. It definitely makes it feel cozier, more complete in here. And started working on a crazy idea in the middle here that I'm not so sure I'll keep. But my wild idea over here was, well, I mean, I thought it was a shame to get rid of this view. If I had the same window on this side as I did on the other side, we'd be missing out. I mean, come on. But I didn't want to just have some random big window for no reason. So I decided to try and just make it look like there's just a big old hole blasted in the side. Maybe from like a pirate ship, or who knows? A hurricane? Who knows? Or maybe the answer is much simpler. It's just very, very old, and over the years it's crumpled down. I'm gonna get to work. I need to texture up this gaping hole, maybe work on the ceiling a little bit, maybe even start working on this. You never know. I could go crazy. I could get excited. Oh, almost fell. I didn't work on it. But I did finish up this window, and I think it's looking super, super duper. Especially taking a step back. I think I got some really nice shapes in here, and it turned out better than I even hoped. So that's always a plus. That's always a plus when a build turns out that way. But I guess it's time. I have put up these crazy looking andesite towers, and didn't really explain it. Just said we gotta enclose this, because it's for our farmers. This is gonna be our villager breeder. But what's the plan for these strange pillars? Pillar-esque, yes. However, they're not pillars. The plan is to turn each and every one of these into their own individual windows. I just threw some glass panes in this real quick to see kind of what it would look like. But now I'm going to take some time and detail this guy up. I feel like the deeper you get into a build, the more and more questions come up, and you start second guessing things, Like now I'm wondering, does this blend in too much with this stone? Should I maybe change this wall back here to deep slate or something? Or should I just leave it the stone palette and not worry about the fact that it kind of blends in, because it also kind of connects over here and looks really nice in that sense? How high should I take them? Is that a good height, or should I make them higher? And then once I figured out an answer to all those questions, working out the final texturing turns each and every block into a question. And just like this time, most of the time, I'm probably overthinking it. I mean, I'm definitely overthinking it, but you know. I like where we've landed, my friends. I think it's time we continue this texturing all the way around the wall. I am absolutely loving how this turned out, my friends. But it's still not zombie proof, and I haven't even put the glass in the windows. I've actually been holding off on putting the glass in the windows because I didn't have the glass for the windows. They're not all gonna be red. In fact, each window is gonna be a different color. The idea was to take each window going around and use a different color of the rainbow. Except the problem is I've got 8 windows and there's only 6 colors in a traditional rainbow. So I gotta get creative here. Work out just a slightly different glass progression to come up with that 8-color rainbow. Shouldn't be too hard. I think we've got it worked out, my friends. The extra colors I added in were cyan right after the blue, and then magenta right after the purple, and then I went ahead and just switched out the green for lime green. It just was a little brighter, a little more colorful, and I think it ended up looking pretty nice, you guys. I think the last major detail that we gotta work out back here is the zombie proofing. This has gotta be zombie proof. Our villagers are gonna be in here and they gotta be safe. We can't have zombies walking in. Haha, yes, I am making that comeback, my friends. A couple episodes ago, I fell in lava trying to work on my guardian farm in the nether. And I may have been wearing a full set of very heavily enchanted diamond armor. So that sucks, but 'tis a minor setback. I did have just a couple pieces of spare armor laying around, but nothing too great, so it was a pretty big bummer losing that armor. But what really breaks my heart is the fact that I lost my trident. Oh, it was such a nice trident. Looking on the bright side, however, that gives me the perfect reason to revisit my trident farm, another unfinished build in my world. Maybe I'll go work on that for a while and give myself a little break from this build. I'm sure the villagers wouldn't mind. That would, however, mean that they're going to live in their tent for a little bit longer. I'm sure they'll be okay, though. I couldn't be happier with the progress made in today's video. Lots of stuff worked out. I had just a ton of crazy ideas and just went for it, and I think it's coming together and looking amazing. There's still plenty of details to be worked out here. Plenty. Inside and out. So I think I'll be working on this build for quite a while. But that's all for today's episode, you guys. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell. I really appreciate it. And you guys, I can't believe the amount of support that I've been shown over just my first 10 episodes. I really gotta say thank you for that. It's really encouraging to me. It really makes me want to keep going and see where this goes. But anyway, my friends, this is Tyrannosaurus Company, and until next time, take it easy and